Hey, I'm Jason Burt, and I'm the pastor at Clearview Community Church in the Nottawa-Collingwood campus.
Hi, my name is Natalie Beukema. I'm the community outreach pastor here at Clearview Community Church at the Nottawa-Collingwood campus.
So we're partnered with Clearview Community Church in Stayner, and we are the third campus. And so we are located just outside Collingwood in a town called Nottawa. Collingwood's about 3 minutes away, so we're going to be ministering to the Collingwood-Nottawa area. So Collingwood is actually very close to our heart. I actually spent a couple years of my high school in Stayner, which is our home campus. And so I lived there for 2-3 years and then moved back to Collingwood in 2001. My wife is a Collingwood girl, so she's from Collingwood. So we have spent quite a few years here. 3 of our children were born in Collingwood, so Collingwood has a place in our heart. I remember years ago, I was driving up on Blue Mountain as one of my many part-time jobs I had during ministry. I was delivering newspapers for the Toronto Star, and so it was about 5 a.m. and I was overlooking the city of Collingwood. And the Lord really laid on my heart the city, and I remember just being real overwhelmed for those that don't know Christ, and just weeping and praying. And so our heart is for Collingwood, Nottawa, and the surrounding area, and for those that don't know Jesus to come to know Him. So that's really our passion.
So I was a police officer for 12 years, having served with the RCMP and with Halton Regional Police. Started feeling, the nudge to get into pastoral ministry, but not wanting to leave the safety and security of the police service. So started going back to school, and I went to master's part-time just to kind of test the waters out. I loved it. The second I got there, I knew this is what I'm meant to be called into pastoral ministry. So took a year leave off of work to continue school. When my year leave ended, I kind of had to make the decision, do I go back to work or do I resign and essentially just wait for an opportunity to open up. God made that decision for us because He gave my husband an opportunity for his work in the Collingwood area. So we ended up moving to this area. I ended up resigning from the police service. My husband and I sought out wise counsel and talked to really trusted Christian friends. And they had said, when he got the opportunity to come up here for his work, they had said, this is an opportunity for both of you guys as a couple. And we had heard that repeated a bunch of times, so we didn't know what exactly that meant. So we, obviously looking back now, you see it was for both of us. And within a year, we had found Clearview Community Church as our home church. And then within a year, I was hired with the church.
Our family was pastoring up north in a town called Kapuskasing. And my wife and I actually were chatting one day and had said, maybe one day down the road, we will plant a church. We didn't actually put a time frame on it or anything. We just thought maybe sometime in the future. And the lead pastor of the church that we are partnered with, Clearview Community Church, he actually gave me a call. And my initial response was actually no. I wasn't interested because things were going well in our church in Cap. And but my wife and I thought, we really need to give this some time of prayer and consideration. It took me some time to actually consider planting the church at that time and at this time, and actually out loud said, Lord, I don't want to leave. Things are going well. And the Lord actually spoke to my heart, and I believe he said, Jay, I didn't ask you what you wanted in life. I actually asked you to follow me. And so that's when it kind of sealed the deal for me, and we said yes, and here we are, planting a church.
I think it's good. I think it's a great opportunity because it's a fresh start, and working under Pastor Tony has been really good. He's very open to new ideas, and it's been just the idea of starting a new church plant in a new area that's growing is really exciting. It's a way to be relevant in the community. That's what gets me excited is just being fresh and having a vision that's kind of thinking outside the box.
So we planned on launching at Easter, this past Easter, but COVID hit, and so that was put on hold. But we're excited. We're hoping in the next month or so to do a bit of a soft launch and then our hard launch later. But in the meantime, we have really wanted to be involved in the community. So we were approached by our local hospital through our ministerial, in partnership with the ministerial, to make hospital gowns. They couldn't get the disposable ones, so in total we made over 300 hospital gowns. We have been giving out popsicles in the park in the heat. We gave it 100 popsicles just this past weekend. We went to the bank. We were thinking about our tellers at the banks and how they have been working real hard. So I actually went and bought boxes of ice cream sandwiches and went to every bank in Collingwood with thank you cards and went in and gave them boxes of ice cream sandwiches, and they were thrilled to receive those. We gave gift cards to gas attendants and just really wanting to be involved in our community. At Clearview Church, our desire is to see people become fully devoted followers of Jesus. One of our main thrust is, of course, those who don't know Christ. And we want to be a place that people feel welcome, they feel comfortable. We want to be a place that people can relax when they come in and hear the truth of God's Word. We really want to be community-based and show people the love of Christ.
One of the biggest challenges, I guess, on the construction side was just getting the volunteers and the manpower. I know for me, had it not been for several key volunteers that actually knew the construction business, I don't know where we'd be. We'd probably still be under construction if it was like me just putting up walls. So I think that's been kind of an area that's been a challenge there. And then COVID, we know God has a plan, so we're just praying that when things open up, people are just ready and renewed for something fresh and turn to us for some place to go and to hear the gospel message.
And so for this time, this season that we're in, it's really been solidifying in my heart that God has everything planned and God has everything, as I said, in control, and it's really given us an opportunity to make sure that our launch is up to par. Really, we want to make sure everything is good, children's ministry and our worship team and our hospitality team and everything, so that when we do our hard launch, that is done really well. So it's not only given us an opportunity to see God's faithfulness and that we can trust in Him, but also helping us prepare better so that our launch is good.
Definitely grown just in leadership skills and obviously patience, but I would say leadership and how do you motivate and encourage people to want to do the work and to see the bigger mission and vision. It's not just a church building and it's not just, opening the doors, but it's reaching the people and showing the love of Jesus. It's not, we're not inward focused. So I think that's been really important. Pray for just wisdom as we move forward, and through COVID, how do we get creative with reaching the people in the community? We're having a lot of growth in the area, which is really good because of COVID. So I guess that's kind of going to help us in the future. But just wisdom on how to be creative, how to think outside the box, how to reach people in a world where there's a lot of challenges and there's a lot of mental health issues and a lot of just confusion in general of what to believe, just so that we can be clear in our message and not cause confusion to people.
And as we do launch, that we would not only see people come to know Christ, that we would disciple them well. We want to raise up leaders. We want to raise up people who are disciples of Christ, who go out and make more disciples of Jesus. So that is kind of our heart, and that's some things to pray for.
Some advice is to have some close friends or family that you can turn to and that will rally around you and pray for you. Having a good group of people that you can turn to and talk to has been really good. That support group has been really, really good for me. Make sure you have the right leader. I think Pastor Jason's done a really good job. He has the vision, and with Pastor Tony as well, like they both have the heart to reach people. It's not just to plant another church and just to be another spot on the map. They really have the heart for the community and for the people. So I think having the right leadership in place is so important. And then, dive in. If it doesn't work, you can always say it didn't work, but if you don't try, then you'll never know. And I think had we not done it here, we would have always wondered like what could have been and like maybe we should have. And so you just never know who you're reaching by stepping out in faith.
It's good to have plans, so plan well. I think Lots of people who plant churches are gung-ho and passionate and excited. We need to have a plan. But that was one thing I learned quickly, is that I needed to make sure we had a plan of approach. Also, with that, kind of the other side of the same coin is not everything is going to go to plan. So good to have a plan, but don't be surprised if not everything goes towards exactly the way that is planned, okay? So that's kind of some advice. I believe church multiplication, I think it's great that the district and even nationally we are on board with the new church network, and just planting churches, I think it is definitely the way to go with seeing more people come to know Christ. We increase numbers, of course, of life-giving churches, but there's new vision and new mission and excitement. And so I would encourage people who are thinking about supporting church planting, don't hesitate. The finances don't go to waste, and people are excited to see more people come to know Jesus. And I think that's church planting is a great way of seeing that happen.